Hi, I'm Harita. I'm going to demonstrate a Twitter clone project. In this Twitter clone project, we implemented various functionalities such as register, subscribe, tweet, query, and login and logout. In part one of this project, we established the connection between the client and the server using actor model, which is in Erlang. Now in this part two, we are using WebSockets to establish the connection between the client and server. So we are using Gen TCP WebSockets both in client and server. Now I'll quickly walk you through the code. So we have basically two files, client and the server. In server, we have ETS table. So this ETS table is used to store the data. So whenever the user registers or tweets anything, these all data is stored in the ETS. So if we stop the server, the whole data is vanished. And we are using Gen TCP for WebSocket connection. So whenever we start the server, the Gen TCP using Gen TCP, the server listens on port 1204 and waits for the client to connect. So once after starting the client, the connection established between the client and the server using this Gen TCP WebSocket. So once the connection is established, we will have several options, several functionalities to execute. So we'll have register, login, subscribe, tweet, retweet, query, and logout functionalities. We need to select one among them, and we have written the code for each functionality. Previously, we used like a proper message is sent from the client and the server. Now we are using a API based model. So whenever the client asks if client tells to register, we design JSON based APIs for messages and replies. Whenever the client, and suppose the client initially wants to register to the Twitter clone application. Once the connection is established between the client and server, the user gives the username as the input. So the client will create a JSON object which includes username and a query as a register. This JSON object is encoded as a string and sent to the server, that is Twitter engine, using WebSocket. Once the JSON object is reached to the server, then it decodes the string into the JSON object. So it stores the registration details in the ETS table, as I mentioned before. Uh, so whenever the clients wants to log in, so the communication, the same thing, whether login, tweet, or any other functionality, so the communication happens to the API calls. Now we'll look into the demo. I'll first start the server at ERL, and once the erlang shell is open, I will compile the server and then start my server. So I'll open one more command prompt to start the client. So URL. I'll compile the client as well. My client. Oh, so once my client is started, so the connection is established between the client and server. It is mentioned here, and it is asking to choose one of the option among the register, login, subscribe, tweet, retweet, query, and logout. So I'll initially register my client. I'll give register. So I'll give Harita as the username. So once I enter my username, here the message, the Harita will be sent as a JSON format. A file is created. Sorry, JSON API is created. So this JSON API is encoded into a message and sent to the server. So if you see the server then decodes the message and turns like saves it in a form of JSON API. If you can see here, this is a JSON API. Now, once the registration is successful, the server sends the message to the client that, okay, the registration is successful. So I'll open one more shell to register one more other client. Same thing. I need to open my erlang shell, client, compile the client, start my client. So even the connection is established between the new client and the server. So I'll register this client again. Register. I'll give Sai as my username. So both now again we received a message from the server that user registration process is successful. So now we have both the users registered. Now I'll subscribe one user to the other. I'll give the command as subscribe. Once subscribe command is entered, it will ask the details of the username to subscribe. So I'll give the Sai as my username, which I created before. So once I gave my username, if you can see here, a message is sent from the server telling that subscription is successful. Now this Harita user is subscriber to Sai user. I'll again do the same thing for Sai user as well. I'll subscribe to Harita. I'll give subscribe as my input. Okay. So here I'll mention the name as Harita. Now both Harita is subscribed to Sai and Sai is subscribed to Harita. We can also test the tweet functionality. When I enter tweet, so it is asking me to start a tweet. I can post anything. I can post like, hi, Harita, Sai, working on hashtag DOS, something like this. I tweeted as, hi Sai, I'm working on hashtag DOS. So my client tells that this is sent to the tweet is sent to Sai because Sai is subscriber to Harita. So if you can see here, my new tweet is received from Harita telling that, hi Sai, I'm working on DOS. Now we can also test the functionality of retweet. So retweet. So it is asking to provide the registered username and whose tweet you want to repost it again. So I'll tell I wanted a size, and it is asking to enter the tweet as well. So I'll just give my size on hashtag DOS. So if you can see, the retweet is successful as Sai like now the message is received to the Sai as well, because for retweeting all the subscribers will receive that message. Now we can also test query functionality. So in query we have multiple options. I'll do query here. So we have enter all the mentioned names to search any hashtags and get tweets of subscribed users. So I already gave one hashtag. I'll test this functionality and show you. If I do like two, I can search hashtag DOSP. Sorry. DOSP. So if you can see here, if I enter a hashtag as DOSP, I'm getting the tweet like, hi Sai, I'm working on DOS, which I previously tweeted. So by querying this functionality, I'll get all the tweets with that hashtag name. I can also test the get tweets of subscribed users. Since I already subscribed to Sai, I first I'll send some tweet from Sai so that I'll receive a message here. So tweet. So once I start a tweet here, I will send hi Harita. So Harita is sent to Sai. If you see here, Harita, the message is sent like hi Harita. Um, Now I'll test the query functionality again. Query. So if I do three, now we'll get the all subscribed users tweets. It is asking for the username whom you wanted to look into the tweets. Like I told, so the username is Sai, and you can see the message is received here, like hi Harita. So we'll get all the tweets of that Sai's, all the tweets of that users which we mentioned here, and we can also do log out and log in. So if I wanted to do log out, I can directly do here, and now this is logged out successfully. I can again log in. So whatever the username we gave for the registration, we need to mention here for login. So I will read it as Harita. Now Harita is logged in and we are ready to go.